Jamie's stand medium punch went up to +2 on block. The opponent does a reversal light normal and now trades with Jamie's low medium punch, which is a good trade by the way. Meanwhile, his stand light punch or stand heavy punch aren't interruptible. Stand medium kick got an extra frame of hit stun. The only new combos I see are a cancel to EX breakdance and a punish counter cancel to heavy palm, which sounds pretty good for whiff punishing. Crush medium punch is now +5 on hit, giving you a cancel to medium or EX palm. This is nice for getting some drinks up. It also gives you links to stand hard punch or to his light punch TC. On counter hit, it's a link to itself. And on punish counter or drive rush, you get low heavy punch. It's now -1 on block, down from 0. Justified by the increased reward, I suppose. Crouch medium kick is easier to counter poke in recovery. This is a good poke with decent rewards on drive rush, so they wanted a higher risk to go with the reward. Crouch heavy kick is now only a low for the first hit. I guess so it wouldn't tag people who'd already blocked it successfully. It's now -11 instead of -10, which might give some character a more reliable punish, but it's still a true block string into the TC. You're now left a bit closer after a back heavy punch. It's still a bit too far away for either side to really be pushing a mix-up, and the TC follow-up seemed to always be in range already. Because of an extra frame of hit stop and a slightly longer cancel window, you now have just a bit more time to confirm overhead into the follow-up TC. Jamie's light punch TC allows him to drive rush earlier and puts the opponent in block stun longer. Now, if he drive rush cancels the third hit and goes into a light normal, it's actually a true block string, and Jamie keeps frame advantage. Previously, the opponent could mash out EX uppercut here, and Jamie couldn't prevent it. Jamie's towards hard kick TC now combos on normal hit, and it had its damage raised. Additionally, it was made easier to perform. The sequence is slow, but does good damage and has enormous range. The increased speed means you can combo into it even in mid-screen juggles. For all of Jamie's Rekkas, he now deals more drive chip on block and restores more of his own drive meter on hit. They also made an adjustment to the buffer, which seems to make the third Rekka harder to do on accident. The hits of EX Rekka no longer individually scale, so it's actually quite a bit stronger. This tiny sequence does 300 more damage than the last version. Heavy Palm is now -3 on block, up from -5. This tiny change is monumental since it actually makes it safe, albeit Jamie is still vulnerable to a mix-up afterward. This also applies to 4 Drinks Jamie, who gets a ton of damage on this move if he raw hit confirms the follow-up. Dive Kick had its hurt box pulled back during the active frames. It honestly had one of the worst hurt boxes in the franchise, and I think it's good if they're going to make it a bit better. Pushback on block was reduced, which is bad if you're doing reckless dive kicks since they're usually minus. But it's actually a buff if you're doing well-spaced or meaty dive kicks. Projectile invincibility has been massively extended on all versions of Breakdance. They're now Fireball invincible until active frames end, and these things have a lot of active frames. You can go through Iron Man's Proton Cannon with this now. EX Command Grab now inflicts the scaling on the first attack after the grab rather than the second. This basically cuts down the damage a bit. This short combo lost 300. Jamie's Super 1 is noticeably faster at 8 frames rather than 10. Not only does this help it as a reversal, it gives you a few new ways to juggle into it. Light DP, for example, was given additional scaling when starting combos, probably because anti-air Light DP can now juggle pretty easily to Super 1. For modern Jamie, his assisted combo 2 now incorporates his heavy kick TC. And naturally, he now has low resource versions of his assisted combos. Overall, this patch was really good to Jamie. Most of his changes are buffs, and a few of them are really significant ones, which are going to boost his damage, make him safer, or just give him new opportunities to get his drinks up. He also had a lot of quality of life stuff. A lot of people said he was one of the weaker characters last patch, and I guess Capcom heard.